Hi everybody, welcome to week 6 and it's time to start writing a paper. And right off the bat, um, I want everybody to take a deep breath and go, it'll probably be okay. Because when it comes to your first draft, that's what I'm looking for. It's okay. Because it's your first draft. This is when you are taking some idea that you've chosen and you are starting to craft it. It would be very strange and unlikely if it came out beautiful and perfect. Now, I'm sure there's going to be parts that you really like, right? There's going to be parts that, have nice flow and the ideas are working. But what I am looking for is a complete draft that's got an introduction, body paragraphs, brings in some sources, and has a conclusion. And if you do that, as far as the draft grading goes, you're set. That's an A, right? In a sense. So for those of you who get tense when it comes to papers and you're thinking about, oh, I have to make this perfect. No, you don't. And that's not even the process, because it really is, you're putting your ideas out. As they come out, they get organized for the first time, really. And then once we've got them out on paper, we can start organizing them more. So the biggest thing, and I cannot emphasize this enough, the biggest thing this week is to write a draft. That's it. Beginning, middle, and there might even be a place where there's a gap, and that's all right. So, to go over the schedule a minute, to make sure people are starting, here's the paper. I'll go over that shortly. By Thursday, I want everybody to have an introduction, and there's a video below that goes over a bunch of introductory techniques. And when you do your introduction, right, I want you to go ahead and post the introduction for everybody to see. And like it says here, say you ask a question, and that is the technique that you use for your introduction. Go ahead and put on the title, ask a question. That way everybody can see the technique that you're using. Also, it ensures that you are using one of the techniques from the video and the handout, because I want you to be able to identify what it is they're doing. And the other thing about writing is we have been doing this a long time. And by we, I mean scholarly types, which you are because you're in this class. And there are certain formulas and structures that have proven to be successful over time. So you're never really looking at an entirely blank screen. There are ways to start it, ways to end it, different types of body paragraphs, all of which are in videos below. So you can, of course, keep moving, but a minimum, have your introduction done by Thursday, post it, and I want you to find more sources, and this can be expanded to, now Google, websites, TV shows, and I think that'll make a little bit more sense once I say more about the paper. So that is for Thursday, and then for Monday, and of course you can be working on this sooner, now I want you to come up with that first full draft of your paper, right? And looking at this, here's a video on introductions. Here's a video on finding 3 other types of sources. Here's a little body paragraph. So watch these, because the intent of each of them is to reduce stress and let you realize, oh, yeah, these are the things people do. I pick the one that makes the most sense for this paragraph. I run with it, move on to the next. Right? There's the handout that I talk about, some other handouts that go along with the videos. And here's in-text citation, right? Paraphrasing. This is something I learned about 2 years ago, a way to paraphrase using color, which is pretty cool, and it might be helpful, right? So I would actually watch all these videos before Thursday, right? But it's your schedule. Okay, tons of background, small lectures on the information that you need for pretty much each part of the paper and the research. Now the paper, right? I want you to explore, right, an idea that came up from this way for the gas in any one of the stories, or maybe it was multiple stories, right? And what I want you to focus on is right here. What does it say about us, right? And then here's a story. It says something about us as people, right? It says lots of things about us. And what I want you to do is, okay, this is what these stories say. How does that match up with what we say? For example, hope is considered by many people a very positive thing. You have to have hope, and you can see it. Heck, we name our kids Hope. We have movies with hope in the title, and hope is seen as this beautiful thing that can get us through tough times. Now, that's not what this book says about hope, right? The book says, right, or the stories show us that if you have hope, it can turn into a terrible thing. Because if you have hope you can live one more day, you are more likely to sacrifice the person next to you. So hope becomes a terrible thing in the stories. That doesn't really line up with a lot of what we say about hope. So what's going on there? That would be something, example, that you could explore. And the requirements are 1,000 words plus or minus 10%. So that means 900 words or 1,100. MLA style, and like I've said before, if you know you're going into nursing or want to do it in APA, just let me know. And you can do it in APA style. I also have in the content section, APA links for the information you'll need for that. What am I looking for? A clear thesis, right? Topic, sentence, and organization. So, your basic structure stuff. 3 quotes or paraphrases from This Is the Way. And actually, right now, I'm going to change that to 2 because I think 2 will work. Cool. I will get that updated. 1 reference to popular culture mainstream source. So say, for example, I did the hope thing. I might take a quote from a movie about hope. I just drawn up a blank. I was thinking about Hope Floats, but I actually never saw the movie, so I don't know if there'd be anything good there. But I do want you to take 1 pop culture, right, mainstream source, and then 1 from academia. So for example, I might take something from a TV show, from a movie for this one, popular culture mainstream, and for academia, maybe I go find a psychology paper about the positive and negatives of hope, or how hope affects decision making, something like that. So this way, I know you're taking something from the story, right? Looking at what modern culture, and that's hugely broad, right? I mean, this could go anywhere from Hollywood to current religious views to, you name it. And then, of course, backing it up with something that has that academic research in it. Now, one thing I made a note on here, because sometimes this shows up, this is not a paper about what you think about humanity, right? It's about how humanity is portrayed in the story, and how that exploration has got you thinking about how humanity is portrayed by whichever piece of modern culture you pick. If you have questions on this, make sure to send me an email, right? Hillary is also available for this, and that should get you set up. A lot of videos to watch. Make sure you are watching them. And I reiterate, right, the biggest thing this week is that you write the paper. Don't worry about if there are parts you're like, I'm not crazy about this. Write it, right? Because if you have nothing done at the end of the week, there's nothing to work with, right? But if you do a draft, right, there will be plenty to work with, and expect I'm going to be asking you for changes. People will be pointing out things that you could make more clear. So you want the best draft you can do in a week, and you want something that's finished. So do not stress yourself out as far as, looking for perfection. I'm not looking for perfection. I think it's a fool's errand, right? So do the best that you can. Watch all the videos. They're going to give you a nice, some structure on what to do for the intro, what to do for the conclusion, and things that you can come up with, how to make good body paragraphs. So all of that is in the lectures. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a good week.